ngalo na la wato kuma ta bake asira linga da fo ko nyu fawo dinkira
hey elafta Marlboro la bank kalpo e fa igiso e seo na yuna jang iba dinkira to kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet to shi muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandrin en fen jama isi sanno la yuna wallet to kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet to kono
alkana la konda no tay ka yuna wallet anatan tolle mukan na balwo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo ne la mobile scan yo science ise Marlboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñu lonko e sandro se yona enterprise wato wati ani la yona wallet to la e be lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono
alina nga kafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna bitikoto alina kata nyin ko kentat na sulo fe lolu si sandiro kije se Marlboro fanan keje
moro jundi ana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda
Hello and welcome to this special interview. Today it's a great honor of a lifetime that I have the single honor of sitting down with Honorable MC Cham Senior. MC Cham, is one of the founding members of this country. He is the only surviving member of the Marlboro Delegate, those Gambians who went to the United Kingdom to fight and negotiate for Gambia's independence. As we celebrate 60 years of nationhood, I have the single honor. A lot of people said to me, you will never have an MC Cham on an interview. This, seriously, my friend and brother Lamin Cham said, no, it has to know. But it's an honor. I know where to go and I know who to go to. Honorable, welcome to this special interview. It's a great honor to have a platform with you.
Thank you very
I am
much.
overjoyed.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be with you.
You know, a lot of people told me, I would never have this interview, but I went through somebody special to you. And it was the easiest thing to get you on the platform through that person.
Usaino Dabo.
Why was it easy to get through him and get you to do anything, like especially for an interview?
Well, it's all about a relay race. He found us running around the course, and his father handed the baton to him, and he has not done badly. In fact, he did extremely well to maintain the link and to nurture it. That's how you get me. Otherwise, I have a lot of things to do.
He calls you his father.
Under the present circumstances.
He calls you his father. He said, MC Cham is my only father right now in this country. He is the one. Moisumo Papada.
Well, I knew the father in around the little after the mid-50s. And we kind of developed a common interest in politics. And because my dad had relations with elders in Bansang, Mansajang Banja, Karamota Bajang, and Kausu, Zawara. The elders had sort of links. My father was a trader. So I got to know Numu, and we had common interests. And somehow, we, of the political leadership at the time, we fell in love with the United Party, which was, I think, the third group in politics in the country. We had the Democratic, and then we had Congress, and we had People's Party. St. Clair Juve was a lawyer, and United Party, headed by P.S. Njai. P.S. had developed a good chemistry relationship with the provinces, especially the traders. My father was a trader. They were the representatives of the traders and also of the bosses, agreements and what have you. Most of them were not lettered. My father was not lettered. Although he managed to scribble figures, and he also understood the Rakona, which he used to call Recolon. There's a big book about this, from Fadin up to 1 guinea. 10 weights, measurements. You open the page, by 2 or 3, they can do it. And then state, how many bushels and how much money they pay. I don't know how, 3 of them in Baze, Modu Kaba, Amadou Si, and himself, they were all Tukulors. Were in this trade. And as I was saying, when politics started, they had easy. They had earlier relationship with PS, representing them. So they found themselves in UP.
Oh, well, how did you get into politics? What inspired you to become a politician, and when was this?
Well, I never wanted to be in politics. I was a public servant, civil servant. We were the first to be trained by one woman, Miss Porter, through technical assistance, who started the clerical school, teaching English, maths, and bookkeeping. These 3 subjects she was doing. So, public servant, new entrants, had to go through there so that you could do this and shorthand, and you become a civil servant. Now, with the wind of change, the first act the British government did was to select 8 chiefs and a number of private gentlemen into the legislature. Well, I think it took about a year or so. That was dissolved agitation by mostly Banjul politicians, especially the United Party. And that's how it started. They removed the chiefs from before the removal, PS was appointed. Because obviously, from look of things and from the membership of the councils, the United Party was the largest party.
Okay.
So after the elections, the chiefs ate with the elected members. He had majority. So he was asked to form a government, which he did. And that's how it started. United Party won to Manna and the Basse constituencies, and the Fuladu West, Numukunda seat, and there were another 1 or 2 seats. I think Abdul Malo also was there. So, plus the chiefs, he had majority. He was chief minister. But there came a problem. The registration of voters was done mainly by provincial chaps who were public servants. The PPP had majority of them. And they were involved in the registration of voters. You have people like Sirif Deba, Sirif Sisi, Jared Dafe, Kuti Sanya, who disappointed us because his parents were UP.
They were UP before, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And they remained UP. But he was carried away.
Okay.
Because in Banjul they had a group. I was carried away by that group. Because we claimed him, and he and the Bajangana, we claimed them, and the PPP claimed them. He, of course, well, straight away PPP. The Bajangana crossed carpet twice. We got it because we stood on our platform. They regained it. He went over, and we got him back. I remember it was Dumukunda and MC Jallo who went and dragged him from
the platform? Wow.
From the government side to our side. And then Sirif Diba and all that. It was a joke.
Wow.
Eventually he stayed there.
He stayed at PPP?
Yes, that's how he lost his seat. Because the Sarahulis were almost 100% UP at that time.
At that time.
And he was a Sarahule from Dembakunda. Dembakunda, 3 of them, and Gambisara, Numuil, easily. Whoever won them, got them, won that seat.
So he lost his seat?
Oh yeah, he lost his seat. He lost it to MC Jallo.
To MC Jallo.
We put MC Jallo there. MC Jallo originally was in Wuli, put up in Wuli, but he got lost. He lost it to Bangali Sigate by 40 votes, 24 or 40 votes, which was due to some misunderstanding between him and our chairman. So there was the guy, he was a goldsmith, a very popular goldsmith.
Okay.
He had, 1 week before election, he had a row with MC Jallo. MC had a bit temperamental because he was a very senior veterinary officer when he came into politics. So, and the whole country, cattle owners all knew him. So he had a bit of little chips around. So he lost by about 24 or 34 votes through Makang.
Okay.
Makang, sometime.
Okay. Okay.
So that is it. PPP originally had 3 seats, 3 or 4 seats. But then with the crossovers, they had more.
They had more.
Yes.
So that's how PPP got the more votes than...
And not only that,
Yeah.
but they reduced the chiefs from 8 to 4.
From 8 to 4. So that was a political...
Oh, pretty much gerrymandering. So it was a useless tactic.
Wow.
But that's it. They reduced the chiefs, because with the chiefs they would not have. They reduced the chiefs. And they introduced this, they gave voting rights to the commercial, because they used to, the constitution provided that there will be one of commercial knowledge. T.D. Mullins, in head of USC, originally held that seat. Later Henry Maddy held it after Mullins retired. And there was also a seat for representing the ordinary man, who was the one who first held that, I think. There was somebody who held that before Mrs. Jai. My memory is is a Christian.
Okay.
Aku. And after Mrs. Jai took over. And somebody was to represent the unions. I think that was given to somebody because Emi Jallo would not take it.
Okay.
He was very vibrant. He wanted to be elected. He didn't want the nomination.
So during that time, it was the chiefs who had the voting rights, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They all had voting rights. The original idea was to create a house of chiefs with the Georgetown. The parliament would have been in Georgetown. But British government said, no, the country is too small to have that. Let's combine. Let's bring 8 chiefs representing 35 in parliament with voting rights, instead of creating a house of chiefs comparative to the House of Lords. They are trying to model it like the British system. So British government said, no, let's combine. We had 8 chiefs representing the chiefs. But the original idea was to have a House of Chiefs, like House of Lords.
So let's talk about the main parties during that time. It was the UP and the PPP, right? They were the main big parties at that time.
Yes. And JC5.
And JC5.
A party dwindled, but he had more people originally than Jahumpa. But Jahumpa used the word Muslim.
Okay, yeah.
Young Muslim Congress.
Yeah, Muslim Congress, yeah.
It boomerang afterwards. Yes, with UP, it boomerang.
Okay.
Because PS was born a Muslim.
Yeah.
He converted to Christianity.
Yeah.
But his siblings remained Muslim.
Oh.
Idi Jai, Yadi Kon, and this other girl who was their half-sister, was married in Kaulak. I forgot her name. Bekai.
Okay.
She had a male name.
Okay.
Bekai Jai. 2 girls and 3 boys. They were of the same father.
Father.
Yes. It was PS who converted.
To Christianity.
So the religion could not be played because over 90% of his
family were Muslims.
He was the first to be a Christian.
Okay.
And nobody ever joined them from the Salum branch.
So these parties, how was the composition like? Was it more of combo party, up-country party? What was the composition of both parties?
More of Banjul party.
UP was Banjul party?
No.
Which
it
was
UP who
won all the regions?
No, who extended it.
Okay.
Through PS's relationship with the traders.
Oh.
But before PS, it was Jahumpa, JC5, St. Clair Juve. St. Clair Juve had no seat. JC5 was a teacher at Christi Kunda. So he represented them originally.
Yeah.
It was not a proper election really. But from Basse, PS won 5 seats up to Fuladu.
Wow.
Up to Pakaliba.
Pakaliba. How would you describe PS Njai, the politician?
Well, he was a very charismatic figure, but his temperament was did not commensurate with his ambition. He felt that he had blue blood, and he looked down on Jahumpa. He looked down on Joseph. He looked down on all his political colleagues. He had complex superiority, and that did not help in the end. So Jahumpa with JC5 always denied him full heavy majority the best majority he had in parliament was, I think, 3 or 4, and the chiefs were with him at that time. So I think he would have been a very good leader, but he was a very bad political practitioner.
Wow.
Yes. But as a leader, he was very good, because most of the early political progressive moves were during his time. You know, we went to UK twice, Constitutional Conference. And, the United Party played the greatest role because they comprised lawyers and people from Banjul who were more au fait. You know, the other side, just if I had not, I didn't got a clue of what Cham was, of course, better at the conferences, two conferences.
How would you describe Sadauda as a politician at that time, when the PPP just started?
Well, at that time, he was, well, to be fair, he is no longer. We were not very good friends at the end.
You were not
but
friends?
I think he...
At the beginning, you were not friends, right?
And towards the end also.
Okay.
Towards the end.
Okay.
I think he was, I wouldn't use mediocre, but he was a good listener. He was a very good listener. And he also was, he consulted very well.
Very well.
I must say he consulted even the opposition, mainly Numukunda and myself. They used to say, because we go to his dinners, we go when he invites us, we attend, that we are going to cross over. We never did. We've been to #1 Marina so many times, have dinner with him. And they said, definitely you medicine. Mukunda said, well, he eats, we eat from the same.
We eat from the same place.
So whether there is something there or not, certainly is not harmful.
Yeah.
I think South Africa at the time was very good for the Gambia, because the elections, the registrations were rigged, elections was rigged. That is why the United Party won the Mamadi Sabali Coghill case, and the government was declared invalid. But because the governor, Paul, was a secretary, who was a secretary at Sierra Leone, secretary to governor, was promoted to governor here, he replaced Windley. Windley was a lawyer, Pierre was a lawyer. The chemistry was like this. It was Windley who appointed him chief minister. Now, Windley was transferred to Kenya. He was a wealthy man. Pierce wrote, at that time, we didn't even have self-government or anything, wrote to the colonial secretary protesting that Windley should not go to Kenya. Paul was a little secretary in Sierra Leone to the governor, cannot, you know, things like that. He never consulted us. But that mitigated very badly against him. Eventually, Paul stayed. Paul tried all his best to win his understanding, but could not. As a result, we also shunned Paul. And because also, when UP won the case, Coghill, Mamadi Sabali, the government was declared invalid. Election was to take place. Paul wrote with the opposition leadership saying there will be chaos. They too suggested that to him. There will be chaos in the Gambia. So an order in council was signed to the advice of Paul to validate Jawara's illegal government, improper government, that was dismissed by the Privy Council. that validation order was made. No cooking in Banjul and Kombo St. Mary. Ken Anyu Tule.
Wow.
Demonstration upon demonstration. I will be very frank, Billahi. Our first suggestion, then Jahumpa, they all rallied around us. It was against Jawara. Our first move was to go and get the hell. There was these vessels that carry the groundnuts regularly here. That we were going to get the governor, put him in the vessel, like they did American governors. Back in 3 days meeting. Jaumba and his cohort watered that down until it came to we sit around Cameroon, Boko, prevent the judges from going to court. Who could I say judges? He said, Mandeka, Munda Muni, which is a CEO, you bona tangi kale. Nakala data bigele.
Wow, this was, wow.
So that fizzled out. But what we had said was like Americans did. Put them in vessels.
And send him back.
Send them back to UK. We put him in the vessel, send him back.
But that never happened.
Oh yes, never.
So what happened then? The government was invalidated.
They validated it.
They validated
by the order in council. For 5 years.
Wow.
Of course, Jawara was a very clever man, a very peaceful man, good negotiator, managed to win most of us. I think I was the last. Then PS had left parliament, was because if you don't attend 3 times without permission, you're out.
You're out of parliament?
Yes. So he was out. Edie was leader in parliament, I was deputy leader. It went up to a stage that Shoti Job, I think somebody died, Musa Job and so on. So we were very thin. So
did you think it was the way invalidating his government demoralized him, more or less, you know, PS? Is that the reason
validating
why?
It?
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
How can you change a male into a female or female into a male? It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Why? What was the danger? What was the need? It was declared illegal, improper, not because of technical reasons, because a number of villages in Makati Island we are not registered. We are not even in the book. About 12 or 15 villages. We are not even in the register of voters. That was why government was invalidated. That was why we won the case against Cockhill. Cockhill represented government because he was the registration officer. He was one of the commissioners. So it was won, hands down, Privy Council. But then that Paul said there will be chaos. People will kill each other here. So the Queen should sign an order in council to validate Jawara government to stay in power for 45 years.
Wow. Wow.
That brought about the first step of downfall for the United Party.
United Party.
Yes. And Jawara did very well also to be very nice to everybody, including members of the opposition. And the members of the opposition, he concentrated on Numu and myself.
Were you guys the more hardliners, you and Numu?
Yes.
Were you the hardliners of the UP?
We used to take parliament up to 5 a.m.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
And you know what they did? There was one briefless, useless British youth, Barclay Rice, came here. I think he was a high school graduate. He was, because his book is nonsense. You have seen his book, nobody bought it. Absolute nonsense. So they got him. he was coming to Parliament, and he tried to ridicule Numu and myself. He said, I used to speak for about 3-4 hours because I wanted to take Parliament beyond midnight for the night allowance. I mean, it's, nonsense. And at one stage, I had a row, and the speaker, according to me, was a good brother, a good friend, Salu, at the time.
Salu Jack.
Yes, he had taken over from Jones, Dr. Jones. And Siridima intervened. If but for people, I would have wounded him.
Wow.
Yeah, our distance is just like Hussein and myself. There's a very small floor. So I was suspended for 6 months.
From the Parliament?
Without pay.
Wow.
And the radio had nothing to say, Captain Peters, except my rudeness and misbehavior and my suspension. and throughout, without salary, and they had not, I was not paid salary, we were given allowances. I had no right to suspend my allowance. It was as a member winning the election, representing Tumanna, my minor expenses, that was the allowance. What was the allowance for? Not a salary. That was why it was not taxed. But who cares? I had other means of survival.
So how did you end up, before you ended in PPP, you had already gone to Marlboro for the negotiations, right? At what point did you join PPP? Was it before the negotiations or after?
No, well after.
Well after. Now, before we get to that, how was the negotiation like pushing forward for Gambia to have independence? How did it start? What were the negotiations?
Well, according to one of their delegates, it was one of the best they had with the colonists, because our point of difference was not on tribal lines, was not in many other, some of the areas which daunted some of the proceedings of the other British colonies. Our main point of contention was the type of independence. We preferred the monarchical system because we felt that we were a small country. Almost all the countries in West Africa were far bigger than us. You can roll us many times to them. So we thought a monarchical system where the Queen will remain as a figurehead represented by a Governor General was better for us as a small country, not only for protection but for survival. The link will be closer than being a republic by ourselves. That was the main point, bone of contention. And we have been proven right. Security, economy, all the aspects that go to make a government viable and tangible. We are very far behind, most of them, We cannot protect ourselves.
But then how independent was that too? Were we fully independent then?
Of course, if we had taken a monarchical system, the Queen would have been our figurehead. We'll only intervene like England, where when there is absolute chaos, then the monarchy will take over. That was the only time, otherwise 100% by ourselves. We don't have to consult them on anything. But if there were chaos, like if there was to be chaos in England, the king will take over. No challenge. We thought that was a very solid protective distinct for Gambia, method for Gambia. But we decided a republic because people were infatuated with president. That is why, originally, we had Sir Fatou as Governor General.
Oh.
And during the discussion, I don't know, say to me, collect me, there is one clause there which UP was responsible for.
Okay.
And that was the percentage. We got it there. They lost their first attempt of becoming a republic by 57 votes. But for our insistence of that clause, they would have been a republic long ago. But when, of course, most of us went over, because there was no chance, because PS, whom we trusted as a leader, is out of parliament. They took over. They wanted me to be deputy leader. I said no. I'm not going to waste my time with that. If he can't be my father, if he died, I'll be a leader. I'm a Harris. I don't have anything.
The politics for now, Harris.
But their first attempt of republic, we've made it fail. That shows you that the UP had a muscle.
They had a muscle.
It failed.
It failed.
First attempt to be a republic failed. It was the second attempt that found most of us there. Succeeded.
Wow. So how was that negotiation? Who were there? Who were the Gambians that were on the table in Marlboro? The negotiation in Marlboro.
Yeah.
How was that? How did it go?
It went, as I say, it went very well. It was just the system of government that was the main argument. But it was not what they expected. Because they had expected us to be like we. I had an accident, you see. My chest here, the bone, that's why I don't wear a seat belt.
Okay.
The bones overlap.
Okay.
So I had a serious accident coming for the conference. I was taken on a stretcher to the plane. Because, in fact, Jawara and PS had a quarrel that I am an invalid. PS said, as long as I'm breathing, I will go. He is responsible for his delegation, just like as Jawara was responsible for his delegation. But, you know, I had a miraculous recovery. I was taken straight to the London clinic. One night, I came out. If you see our picture, I look very frail. I came out. My chest, these two bones overlap here. Because by the time I got into, they didn't consider it advisable to operate and to correct. That's why I don't wear a seat belt.
So you represented UP?
Yes.
Were you the only representative, or you were there with some other representatives?
No, it was PS, ED, myself, Burangyon, KW Food accountants. 5.
Wow.
Okay. There was 5 of us. And we were lodged in the same hotel. Jawara went, Famarawasa, Kebali, Sirif Sise, and I think Sirif Deva. Then Omar Mbaki went for the chiefs. Yes.
Time has now come for the Gambia to achieve full sovereign independence.
And that moment when you had an agreement with the British that, yes, we can proceed and have independence. How was that feeling like in the room?
Oh, we thought that we had scored victory. When I say we, I mean the opposition, the United Party.
The opposition? Why did the opposition thought they scored
because
victory?
we had a monarchical system, not a republican system.
Ah.
They wanted they wanted us to come back with a president after election. We said no, we are small, we cannot protect ourselves, our economy is feeble, we will always need a helping hand more than our bigger brothers. We were a grant-aided country. You know that. You read it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. We lived in it. We were grant-aided. At the end of the year, the financial secretary will table in the house. Colonial secretary was leader of the house. The budget, shortfall, British will provide. That was how we, when we went into politics, that was obtained. And obtained after independence. We were a grant-aided country. So you want to be a republic and have a president, who will aid you? Who will give you grants?
So Jawara and his team wanted to have a presidency kind of government, but you guys wanted a republic and you won that.
Yes. Jawara wanted a republican system.
Yeah.
We wanted a monarchical system.
And
And we ensured that a monarchical system cannot just go by a simple majority in parliament. It had to be a referendum. And the first one failed. The first one failed. It was the second one when most of us had gone over. That succeeded.
That succeeded. Wow. So when you came back, when you guys came back, what happened next? How was the government set up? What happened when you came back from the conference?
When we came back, government and opposition continued for some years, and with Jawara's policy and the situation in the country, some of us joined him, and after that, we forged a very good relation. We started the foundation of a good relations with Senegal. Because Gambia cannot live in isolation with, in policy-wise and governance, in isolation with Senegal, because we are almost surrounded by Senegal. And we are a smaller partner. We realized that. We forged that sort of, started that sort of relationship, which was going on very well. And there was this attempted coup.
In 81?
Kukoi,
the 81 one?
Kukoi.
Yes, the 1981 coup?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I wanted to, before I get there, what kind of infrastructure, what kind of Gambia did you guys inherit when you were handed over independence in 65, infrastructure-wise?
Well, if I tell you that we were grant-aided, that sums it all.
Yeah.
We did not inherit macadamized roads. We only had a single lane road, macadamized to Birkama, just before the entrance, before the police station.
That was it?
That was the only thing. And we had laterite up to close to Burman. And then later it got to Burman, because there was the bridge. After, it was as before. It used to take 5 days by lorry to go to Basse.
5 days?
5 days. They used to cook for us provincial chaps. Boli sauce. It rotted after 24 hours. 2 hours. So sardine is what we used to. It takes 5 days to get to Banjul. That was why the steamers, river boats were very popular. You had the Vampire before, well before independence. After Vampire, we had the Lady Denham. Then we had Prince of Wales. They were plying, carrying everything, seaports. Lorry, no. Lorries only used to carry petrol and oil and heavy goods before the trade, because they took 5 days.
Wow.
And they had to have security. if the best lorry from Banjul will spend the night at Sibanor, that's a good. There were no second hand. All vehicles were new then. This second hand business did not happen, did not occur. So the river was the main form of
transportation.
Yes, that is.
So how did the PPP government transform that? Number one, infrastructure-wise, and also we were told the PPP government had the best civil service, you know, of all these three governments. How did that all happen? How were you able to do that with limited resources? How was governance like during that time?
Well, I think this question of doing well, civil service, all has to be qualified. It all helped facilitate the grant aid we used to have. And we had also started getting small aid from countries like the United States. And also Nigeria also was very helpful, because as a colony they got independent before, but even before that they had a lot of wealth, a lot of resources. So we used to have, because we were a small country, our demands and requirements were relatively to that measure, relative to that measure. So to assist us was not very difficult. And we had an excellent relationship with Senegal. We had excellent relation. Before independence, we were cat and mouse, government to government. People to people, we were one.
Yeah.
But government to government, if they find a packet of job, J-O-B, or Camellia Sport Dakar, you are locked up or fined a heavy fine. In Senegal, if they find clipper, players, or this one that had mental, I forgot the name, you are fine. If they even this little piece of thing, if they find it in from Senegal, from Gambia, you are in trouble.
Wow.
It was not the Senegalese people, it was
But
the
the
French.
government, the French, the
Here
French.
too, it was not the Gambian people, it was the British.
The British.
You know, they protected their trade.
Their trade.
Yes. But when we became independent, all that was thrown away. That was not done by Gambians and Senegalese. It was done by them to protect their own trade.
Their trade.
You see. I remember Alaji Modu Sanjay,
Yeah.
who is a relation, who was a tycoon, was locked up in Basse because of camellia and these things found in his possession.
Wow.
Yes, fact. In my relation. If they find any French goods in your hands, they lock you up. In Senegal, if they find any British goods in they lock you up for that. There was no trade.
Between the two countries?
No.
Wow.
No. That all came to take place after independence.
After independence.
But before independence is trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the PPP government, you later joined the PPP government. I was told you were one of the most influential ministers in the Jawara government. What were some of the positions you
I'm
held?
not sure about that.
Somebody said to me he was really influential in the Jawara government.
Well, one thing, I tried to do my job.
Okay.
And another thing is that there were a couple of times when projects were taken from my colleagues and I was asked to handle them. Banjul Serekunda is one, the first one.
The Banjul Serekunda Highway?
Yeah.
Oh, so you...
It was Banjul Yundum Highway, but Hot Summers was given the contract of Afro-Atlantic, Louis Dias Little Sada, in combination with Afro-Atlantic, which metamorphosed later as the old civil Louis Dias. They were given this contract. They consumed the time of the contract at Westfield instead of Yundum. I was brought to take it over. They used to walk until 3 a.m. and I used to sit down there with my vehicle.
Wow.
With them. CSC. We kicked Louis Dias out of it. And international tender, Abidjan.
Kick them out.
No, we got an international tender.
Okay.
CSC won. CSC did it. But they had consumed the sum to Yundum, so they stopped at Westfield. That's why it's called Serekunda, Banjul Serekunda Highway.
That is the same highway we still have here.
Yeah.
Somebody, I was talking to a friend, he said this road is still the best road that Gambia ever constructed, the Banjul Highway.
The bridge started. It started with the bridge. The bridge, Lamin Boy was there, was handed over to me. I concluded the bridge during my time. I didn't physically do it, but I was the minister.
You were the minister in charge.
And they used to say, the contract companies, that they don't like to have projects under me.
Why?
Because I stand on their heads. You talk to CSC officials or any of these old contractors. They'll tell you that he's always there up to 2 a.m. He's there till 1 a.m. Give us time. This sewage, how many years? I concluded it. Wow. Sewage
system.
Oh, yes. It was not under me.
But it was later given to you to conclude.
Yeah. I will give, you will come with your officials. I handle the program. Combo Beach has gone away now. This Fajara, no, can't. But I must say I had the cooperation of officials more than others had maybe. But I was not doing it physically.
Yeah.
But somehow...
You're getting the job done.
Yeah. I introduced Islam into schools. I was reported to the president. The president was very objective. I have been reported there several times. He will tell you, if I call him, he will have no idea. Please go and lodge your protest or petition to him. If you fail to agree, then you come to me. Then if I call him, he will be able to answer. I can name you 3 or 5 projects which had the same fate. He will tell you, look, MC doesn't know about it. Go back to him. Jawara was very fair at that time. Very fair. Go to him. If you disagree with him, then you come to me. Islam into schools, they said we have to go to parliament because the law provides 8 lessons a day. So if I want to bring Islam, it should be 9. I have to have parliament. I said no. When they came back to me, I said, you have what you call a really Christian doctrine. Muslims are asked,
Okay.
I said, Muslims, we all who attended schools will go and revise them and study. They have 1 or 2 classrooms. All I am doing is no longer called Christian doctrine. Religious knowledge. Muslims will go right. Christians or whoever faith, whatever faith you have, will go left.
Wow.
I don't need any legislation to change lessons from 8. What is there is what the nomenclature I am going to change. We call religious. I had a committee advising me, comprising education officers here, Kama Baji, C. Juf, Soma Jobate, Peter Sin Job, I think A.J. Senghor. I had about 6 or 7 in that committee. And I wish one of them were alive. And they will confirm this. And I used to smoke cigar, Churchill cigars in those days.
Wow.
I will smoke it until it stopped. But,
Wow.
so it's a pity I have outlived most of them.
I know.
But I swear to God, I am not lying. It's on record. If we go into the records, we'll see.
This will be there.
At the time, Jawara was very, very, very objective.
Objective
You don't report anybody to him and he take a decision.
decision.
You have to go and take your report to the minister or official concerned. If you have difficulty there, then you can petition.
Wow. What other ministerial positions did you hold in the government?
I was education.
Education.
During my time, portfolios were youth, sports, and culture.
Youth sports.
It used to be education.
I was told you were also in sports a lot. In sports, you were also in sports a lot.
I was president of the
Football Federation
for 12 or 14 years. Every year election, I mean.
Wow.
And I resigned quietly and nominated my last opponent, Dr. Samba, as president. I took a paper to cabinet and said this should not be election every year. Let the minister have the right and the sports council to advise and the appoints. I know I have gone through the grill. And I appointed my last opponent. Was my last opponent as president.
Wow.
Fact. You see, I am not, I will let people to judge.
Yeah.
But I wish records, they will go into records. Or I wish some of these people I had interacted with were alive. They will confirm this. And one of them died today, Mbai Chow.
Mbai Chow
was one of my chaps.
Ah.
He was a contractor bringing cockle shells from this big place, Mandinari. Banjul roads were made of cockle shells then, not this laterite or whatever. He was at primary school, I was in high school. I was 2 classes
Ahead of him.
He was the first to be appointed in the Department of Sports. He was the first. Because he was also a sportsman.
How was the political atmosphere during Jawara's government? You had oppositions. Were they very vibrant?
Opposition?
Like, yes, during Jawara's time.
Very.
How was the atmosphere?
The atmosphere was not comsy. I think at the very beginning, it was a bit rough. But later on, it boiled down to A against B, or A not getting along with B. But otherwise, no, it was not a problem. And we had, later on, we had Attorney General like Lamin Saho. Blessed memory, may God have mercy on his soul. Who was very objective, a very good debater. He was an asset.
Ah, Lamin Saho.
He was Attorney General for 14 years. 14 years consecutive.
Wow, 14 years.
Yes. Lawyer Drame was the lawyer for the party. He was PVP. But he was advised not to stand for election. Because if you lose election, you cannot be nominated to a parliamentary post. He lost the election. Otherwise, if he had won, he would have been the first Attorney General. In the absence of an elected, Jawara nominated Lamin Saho,
Into the
who
parliament.
served for 14 years.
So it was a parliamentary system. You have to win elections to be in the cabinet and in government, right?
No, in parliament.
In parliament, yeah.
But in government, you can be in government without...
Without being, you've been
elected.
nominated by the president.
Yeah.
You are nominated by the president.
Well, he didn't abuse that. He only did that for Lamin as Attorney General because we could not get a lawyer to win. The lawyers, 2 of them were all UP. So he nominated Lamin. But Mrs. Jai, he nominated. But if you are nominated, you don't have a voting right.
Oh, nominated
But you
members
can hold portfolio.
portfolio, but you cannot vote. Okay. So the first independence celebrations after the negotiation, how was that like? Where was it held? Did you guys had these kind of celebrations that we have nowadays?
No, it was fantastic.
Wow.
It was non-political. For instance, Habib Cham was Minister of Foreign Affairs in Senegal, very popular. I was a member of the opposition, but I was attached to him. I was like the minister. I was one of those who had Senegalese VIP.
Wow.
Habib was with me throughout. And after that, during my period in office, any head of state or any minister who comes here, including the Secretary General of the OAU, after hours, they would always say, MC is your host. Because I opened all these nightclubs here at the time. And youth club. So after work, any VIP who came here, including Jaloteli and the last one, Ikangaki, Joe Ikangaki, my guest. And that was very nice because when I travel about and when we meet, our chemistry is already established.
Yeah.
So it was nice. You get along well with people. It's better.
Yes.
But you get along with people who know you or who have a fair mind, who will judge you for what you are or what you say or what you do. Prejudice is no good.
Yeah, no.
If we remove prejudice in our society, we will have a very nice place. Because we are a small country.
Yeah.
Small country.
So the independence was really interesting. It was a good celebration, right?
Which independence? This one?
No, during your time.
Yes,
every year you look forward to celebrating independence.
Oh, it was fantastic. Every facet of society, everybody, anywhere was invited. You see, if you want to make history, you become a boo-boo. You will be forgotten about immediately you are out of the scene. Can you talk about the history of the Gambia without mentioning PSGI?
No.
That he formed the fourth government, without mentioning Jahumpa?
No.
Without mentioning JC5? Without mentioning St. Clair Youth?
No.
Without mentioning Edward Francis Small?
No.
Let us not create history. We don't own it. The future belongs to God.
Yeah.
Not only the present.
Yeah.
But we participate in the present. If you suppress, how can you have an occasion in the Gambia? You don't mention any of the forefathers who are over 55 years ahead of you in governance. Who created the first government in this country and ran it for 55 years before you came in, and a major occasion takes place. You call it a century, around centuries, 50 or 60
60 years.
And not one of them is mentioned. So the government fell down from the sky. Whoop. We all listen, we all see. I am here, the only surviving. You don't ask for invitation. But we are saying, who was mentioned in this part? You know, after the war,
Yeah.
most of the heroes from the Commonwealth only very few went to London for the parade, Jubilee parade. But they have MB. You know what MB means? MD, mentioned in dispatch. They have a role. If you go to Westminster, they are the name.
Yeah.
They are there. They are mentioned in dispatch. And their names were read in Parliament after the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. People alive were there who came here 55, 60 years ahead of you. And we celebrate 60 years independence. Not one. No, if but for Jahumpa, Pierce and St. Clair Youth and others, the farm would have been barren.
Yeah.
What kind of a system are we running? I say it, MC Cham.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be invited, but I am saying, mention in dispatch.
Yeah.
Mention Pierce, mention Jahumpa. Pierce was chief minister. Mention JC5. Mention Amankani. Mention all these people, heroes who died in service. But no, Gambia started now, 5 years ago.
No, that's not. No.
Hey,
No.
Fula say hey, Mandinko say hoi.
So let's go back to, Jawara government was, fairly my grandmother will say, she's a Jawara, she loves the PPP, she's still PPP. But, in 1981, the coup d'etat, you mentioned it, was that your first test of rebellion against the Jawara government and the 81 coup d'etat?
1981.
Yeah, the coup d'etat. That was the first coup d'etat, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
coup attempt, right?
Yes. No? Was that the...
81, right?
That's the Jammeh one.
No, before the Jammeh one, 81.
That was Kukai.
Kukai one.
Yeah.
How was that? How did that happen? How did the government handle it?
They handled it very well, but Senegal was our savior. Senegal was our savior. Because of their intervention.
Was it because of the Senegambian Confederation? At that time, you had the Senegambian Confederation on already.
We had it, yes.
Yes.
That, there are three forms of association. One is unitary, come together, not very common. Then there is a confederation. Everybody run your show. There is a federation coming together, like Mali and Senegal. Not recommended because cultural differences, ethnic and so on, is not advisable. We chose the confederal. That is Ngoyo Ngoy Botsado. But in time of crisis, come together. That was the article they used to drive away these people. Bojang, he was a sub-inspector, maybe a lieutenant in the army, was a very ambitious chap. He started everything at the depot, and he launched it. And some of his students continued well after him, his ideas. And Senegal came and got the hell out of him and his cause. And Captain Jeng should have been honored in the Gambia. We should have had a statue for him here. When things were tough, because they had occupied key positions. Senegal managed to drive them everywhere, but they had dug their heels at Yundum. police going towards the airport.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to get them out of there. It was costing Senegal a lot of lives. Sergeant Jeng, I think it was Sergeant, is the one who volunteered. There was a stalemate, he volunteered to negotiate. This was said on the radio, both sides. He said he was going to negotiate. I think he, either in his vest or he had some bombs somewhere. He raised his hands and went to negotiate with them. They had not to take this, but they suspected. He threw it at them. They shot him, but he threw at them.
Wow.
That is what broke their backbone. But then others died.
Wow.
And he died.
He died.
But before he went, he said he was going to sacrifice this people. Somebody must sacrifice otherwise. That's what we hear.
Yeah.
We did not say it in the press or over there, but this is the information. Because why should he go? He had ammunition with him, of course, in his body. But he went with his arms raised. But he knew he was going to die. But then he will break their backbone there. And he did it. That's the information we have.
You got.
We don't know how to, but it looks like to be the correct information.
So after that coup d'etat, a lot of people said that was a signal for Jawara to understand that it was time to leave. Why didn't Jawara think about move?
No, it was after.
Yeah.
It was after the
Mansa Congo conference.
Yeah,
yes.
That is after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened? I know, people used to say Gambia Jawarantango. My grandmother used to say, that's what they used to say, Gambia Jawarantango, when he announced that.
Actually, they blame him, but it is not his fault, 100%. Maybe he succumbed to the wishes of the people. Africans, Europeans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, we all have different characteristics, nations.
Yeah.
They are blaming him, but it was pressure by the public. I was very instrumental. I organized that Makati Square. Ask anybody. I organized it. If I say everything, I will hurt some of the feelings of some of my colleagues. There's nothing they can do about me. But I don't, at this stage, I'm over about soon 92, I don't want to cultivate anymore opponents. I don't regard anybody as an enemy.
Yeah.
So, but I know Jawara has no blame in that. They blamed him because that is the European mentality. I mean, white men normally, when they say no, on principle, you cannot get them out, especially at the top. But Africans, it's our tradition. When elders or women or a mass come and beg you, of course.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to blame Jawara for that. For his overstay, for his coming back. It will be wrong to blame him. Definitely. It was pressure at Makati Square here, we all know. But there were people within the party. Since Jawara is not alive, I will not mention them.
Yeah.
But they were behind that. Jawara knows that. He knew that. There were some members within the PPP who did not want him to stay. Billahi. But as I say, most of the people who matter are not here. There is no point in saying it is Hussein or Ibrahim or Alpha. No. But they know themselves, those who are alive, they know themselves.
Was there internal fights in the party at that time also?
Yes.
There were a lot of internal fighting.
You know why? Africans
Yeah.
respect force come, force off. Our democracy is intertwined with our culture, which has great regard for force come, force off. The moment you disrupt that, you hurt feelings.
Yeah.
One, people will say you are not grateful. Hussein has been with you through thick and thin. You put him aside, and you take Ibrahim. Ibrahim will get infatuated, will think that he is better than everybody there.
Yeah.
That's why he came, when he came, they salted him up. When he is a boo-boo, he doesn't know anything. You see, in politics, you have pressure groups.
Yes.
Jawara was a little weak about pressure groups. I wish Kekoto Mane was alive. Gentleman. Gentleman. An intellectual. By any standard. Kekoto Mane gave very correct advice. I will not repeat it. Because Jawara is no more, Kekoto is no more.
Yeah.
But Kekoto was very correct. 100%.
And he was part of the PPP.
100%. Kekoto was part of the PPP, was part of the Mandinga group,
Yeah.
which metamorphosed to Terikafo. There is no problem in Fuller's getting a fuller society. There's no point. Why should there be an issue of Wolof getting a Wolof society? There shouldn't be. But when there is little Mickey Mouse, it becomes a problem. And that little Mickey Mouse, Kekoto gave us. Jawara, I wish Jawara was alive. Kekoto was a gentleman.
Wow.
Gave us early signal. And we have come to see it.
Wow. During Jawara's time, were there people who can go, apart from Kiko, were there people who can go to him and tell him, like, speak power to him, truth to him? Because we don't have a lot of that nowadays in politics.
Jawara was open.
Yeah.
Jawara was very open.
Wow.
Lately, once bitten, twice shy. He became a little bit more cautious. But he was open and listened to everybody. But he will not act on anybody's hearsay or story without proof. But as he grew older, I think some of those qualities started to wane. But really, I will not put anybody ahead of him as a good president.
As a good president.
In this country.
And I was also told during his time, his opponents, political opponents, he had so much respect and regard for them. I remember they said one time when one of the political leaders said, Jawara, he said something to him and the people came to say, this guy said, he said, fighting. But in this day and age, like before in Jame time or maybe now, people will be arrested and all that stuff. Was that really common during, his political, when he had issues?
Jawara was very open. The only problem he had with the United Party was PS. PS was believes in hierarchy.
Okay.
Believes that he is blue blood. That was the only thing. But otherwise, he had nothing to do. And he was very popular at the time.
Yeah.
And he was also very helpful. Advice, it was an intelligent person. He was also very free-handed. He was very helpful. Pierce had a lot of good qualities. The one very bad quality he had was superiority complex. That is the only thing why he and Jawara could not work. But Jawara tried many times. And so we said, no, I'm going to school of being a teacher. news about that. We had had so many meetings trying to forge unity. And there was one which nearly worked. I was going to take ED and myself as minister, we walk and start this thing of a coalition with a great idea of trying, because a small country, to have one party. You know what happened? Mr. Jahumpa put a spanner in those spokes.
Wow.
Can do away with it.
Okay.
We had agreed to form a coalition. Billahi. 2 ministers were selected from UP after a short period to increase them to 4. We were meeting at Jawara's office, quadrangle. Bo neka good, bo premier la. We were to sign that memorandum the next day. When we went the next day, Jawara gave us a letter written by late Mr. Jahumpa, applying to be an ordinary member of the PPP, that he had dissolved his Congress party and now, billahi,
Wow.
is on record. Anybody want to challenge me is on record. Hassan Musa had a copy. I tried for him to give me a copy. Today, tomorrow. I said, I'm not going to publish it. Because, you know, in my interest, I want unity, I want progress. Jahumpa is my elder. I respect him. PS is my elder, I respect him. But that is happening. When we came, you know, it is very jovial. He and Jawara are like Sanol, cousins.
Yeah.
When we got in, it is where is the draft? He said, no, there is no draft, there is a new new development.
New development.
Now it's a question of dissolving your party and coming over. I'm going to joke.
Yeah.
Comrades, took out the letter, it's there. The operative word there is unconditionally.
Wow.
Dissolve, commit, apply to join
As an ordinary member.
as an ordinary member. Billahi. But often, at my age, I don't want to be a minister. Kubuga minister there. What the hell am I doing with me? Even advice, somebody like you say, no, but I don't waste my little breath remaining on talking endlessly.
Yeah.
My time. He became president, Yalla Neka the president. I will give advice, but I will not join anything. I will not, nothing. If you value my advice on any matter, ask me. Give me peace. If I have any idea, I will give. But otherwise, let me live in peace and tranquility. That is what destroyed. We were going to sign 4 ministers. 2 will be given that day, the others very shortly. Billahi.
Wow.
Often.
Wow.
Often.
Kon li yàgg na si politique daal.
Well,
li yàgg na si politique.
yàgg na ci àdduna.
Wow.
Why always ci end bi. Borom dafa am deserve and been create. Baaxut de.
Baaxut.
In politics,
Yeah.
bañ nañ ko wolof soo ne loolu politique la means loolu fen la is not real. ban laka nga dégga muy wax loolu ma de dégguma ko ci laka yi ma dégg waaye bàyyi ko waaye politique la politique moo sampa réew su nekkee fen moo sampa réew moo indi problème.
te léegi loolu mooy wax ji kii ñi ay politicien lañ lii waxi politique la.
waaw te politique mooy doon luy doxal réew loolu ñàkk fayda la def leen ci fayda su defee kay ñàkk fayda yow am nga fayda def ci fayda waaye dama laa wax ne leadership bi am na fault waaye mass bi moo ko fault.
moo fa ko
leadership bi dafa warta jël ne man MC Cham la comme Ousseynou MC moom moo suma pala gis ñoo doon def nii therefore lu ma MC déedéet na ko check mu wee ko mu use sense am ak mu seet situation bi.
yeah.
But now, and so what?
Yeah.
I can be a bigot.
yeah.
Cannot. It's a pity.
yeah.
Well, Monday, Jawara, I will place him as a very good leader.
Also a very good leader. But 94, the July 22nd coup d'etat bi. July 22nd coup d'etat bi.
Wow.
Fan la leen fekkoon. Were you in government that time? 1994. You were not. Oh, when did you leave government?
I think before, for the 94, just before.
Okay, just before the coup. Okay.
During the coup, I was not in office.
You were not in office.
I was not in office.
Okay.
I had left just some few months.
Wow.
So I was removed few months.
Few months. Okay. Now, looking back, before that, I want to come.
But you know, I remained in the Politburo. I remained in the executive. I also remained in the other with executive, Politburo, National Committee.
National Committee. Wow. So, looking back into all of the 60 years of nationhood, we're celebrating 60 years. Would you say this is the Gambia ngeen envisage bi ngeen demee pour negotiate for independence?
Well, definitely, up to the advent of Marlboro, current president, I think we were on target. It's not possible for Linga Buga Yebga Anko. Why we were on target. Why I am sorry, he was a member of my party, also same clan, and not my family, my dom, eldest son, Moromabla, Dinako Maktuti, Aladi, Nakwara Maktuti. But I must say, Sweke Manma Ate, dina wax ne réeral nañ o ñu ngi réeral values yu bari ak historical facts yu bari yoo xamoon bàyyi ko fa moo doon gën ci ñoom kenn du fi nekk forever maa ngi toog ci toogu bi su ma foogee ne maa moom toogu bi few minister am awee kenn na ci toog so waruma yaa toogu bi dama ko war a jàpp ak toogu bu baax ku fi nekk ci nguur continuer lu baax lu jaagut loo fi fekka jéem koo defar man de lu ma am ci ñoom fault rek mooy liñ wonee ne Gambia mu ngi door ci ñoom te loolu yéen ñi nekk fii président ak lébra yi xam nga celebration 60 years kan ngeen dégg ci founding father ci Gambia not one xanaa dafa taw ni dafa taw am na ñi jiitu woon balaa mu nekk fii fe de doon rafet du moom du kenn man dama day déglu man soo nekkee suma frère suma ennemi radio ak télévision dama ko déglu bi ko dama bëgg a xam lu xew ma xam du ma la jàppee dara bi ko mënuma ci yow tous waaye dama xam ban façon yi chemistry lañ la liggéeyee rek yow
waaw
waaye maa amul dara lu ma déggul man moo dégg naa yëpp maa ngi toog di ko seetaan waaye man musuma gis ku jékki-jékki taw even yonent yàlla Eesa jigéen moo ko jur amul dara lu amul sabab lu tax mu am waaye government bi seen celebration 6 years déglu naa ba taay waaye musuma dégg kenn ku wax sabab ñoom seen sabab foog nga nekk jigéen jur la wala góor foog nga jógee Doobo wala nga jógee Dobonkunda o Basse o Giroba waaye yow da nga taw da nga ñëw rek buub léegi yéen ñëpp déglu ngeen kan ngeen dégg am nga ndey am nga baay am nañu ku nekkoon borom kër te dangay dem doo nekk aw kaput o fop o fab
yeah
blame naa leen ci loolu de soo gisee maa ngi ko wax fii tous laaj mënul ci man dama ko wax pour génnee ko ci suma dena pour jàngal leen ne lii observe nañ ko ñeneen ñi fii ñëw xam ne moomuñ ko su ko defee suñ buggee ñu fàtteeku leen ñu xam ne ñoom inventuñ seen palaas yi nekkuñ force pour taw ñu pay respect ci seen ndeyee seen baay yi politically
yeah
waaye xam nga ne am na ci àdduna bi fiw ñu mus a door seen papa ak seen yaay
waaw daf di am
why is you cannot put it in terms of numerical figure xanaa nga def 10,000 miles 00 point 00 1,000 miles doo ko am fii am na fii man déglu naa célébration dégguma benn honneur dégguma benn respect dégguma benn tribute ci anybody ku passé
waaw
ku ko dégg wax ma
dégguma ko
tax na ba even youth movement sports ak yëpp mu ngi door léegi suñ waxu ne ñoo ko door tam joxe wuñ impression ne am na ku fa nekkoon you don't have to say yow yaa door lii kii mooy lii waaye dangaa won ne ñi fi nekkoon wala ñun nii lañ take over waaye nii lañ ko fekkee ñu def ko nii nit ñaa ngee seet li nga fi fekka yokk nga ko wala wàccee nga ko wala ignore nga ko ignore bi nag muus bu nekk su lekka janax taatam daf koo lekka waaye muus bu bon tukulóor bu ne mooy wax ne taati janax dafa xesew lekka ko pare naka la I mean I think I have said everything I want to say. Only thing dama bëgg ñu jël ko as an advice ku ko jëlul sa advice as advice wàññiwul Mamadou dara
akañ tey boo xoolee sa Dawda 30 years Yaya Jammeh 22 years tey 10 years into Barrow government ñetti président yi soo leen buggee xool
yow tam nag dëgg xanaa it's a matter of journalism rek nga laajte waaye am nga gorogoon dañ ko dee toolaale because dañu am lu bari lu nuroo waaye yàlla ci pol Allah alaadu mooy béjin doo ko mun a compare yàlla God ci pol ak alaadu béjin dafa am comparaison
déedéet kon comparaison bi foofu la tool
déedéet
amul comparaison daal
of course you cannot compare even sheep and goat mun nga ko compare because dañ am ñeenti tànka yooyu waaye yàlla nga béjin kenn moo ko you can there no bi comparison
amu fa okay finally lan mooy sa message to the young politicians suñ political landscape bi tey toxic na amatuñ respect for humanity sax soo ko xoolee tey politique bi is comme saagante bi dem si waaso yi fi waaso ak yooyu noonu dafa bari trop si politique bi tey sooy advice suñ politicians yi lan mooy sa message to ñoom
politicians yi duma leen advice ku tiba sa gémbe nga def waaye damay wax dëgg
waaw
aduna kenn mënu ko jeexal kenn xamul kañ la door kenn xamul kañ la jeex kenn mënu ko jeexal sa time rek waaye soo gisee history am soo gisee géwél am mooy historians ku nekk ñaari yëf ba ñetta di nga ko ci jëlee bu baax di nga bëgg a mel ni moom di nga bëgg a yàgga di ko def di nga bëgg a fàttaliku rafet sa gannaaw. On the other side, lu bon ku ci nekk doo am jàmm. Always da nga force nit ñi pour ñu gëm ne yaa ngi ci jàmm fekk sa ay am nga ci li nga nekk number one. Number two, sa génn amul time. Number three, which is worst, benn nit du la fàttaliku.
waaw
dañ laa fay sa bor.
dañ laa fay sa bor.
soo buggee ñu fàttaliku la ci lu baax da ngaa fàttaliku lu baax li ñu jiitu woon comme que yow dooruloo ko. tout da ngaa wax lu baax ci lu baax li nga dégg li nga gis li nga fekkee. three da ngaa nettali lu baax fi nga jaar dooree ko ci sa ndey ak sa baay sa school teachers ak ñi la mus a dimbale ci sa life. amuloo yooyu waaye buubu trash.
waaw.
trash kontaan naa trop pour nga jox ma chance.
no I'm so happy this is xam naa ne Gambia yi bari bëgg na ñëw.
te li ma wax dama ni challenge mënumaa xeex ak loxo.
waaw.
waaye challenge ma pour ñu toog.
ñu wax.
somebody like you.
ñu toog
mooy yow. gisuma dara loo ma fi laaj.
yeah.
loo xam ne dafa wone sympathy.
no.
left, right or center.
yeah.
I'm not praising you, I don't care.
yeah.
So ko defoon ma ko. moo tax ma trust la.
yeah.
nañ la emulate journaliste yi bari nañ fi trop waaye kenn gémmiñam rataxul ba mu tudda shortcoming si ma fi wax man su ma nekkee président waxuma ko yow soo jógee nga wax ne Jawara nekk na fi. I don't think anybody will serve the number of years you Jawara serve as head of state.
déedéet.
loolu waxuma ko gannaaw yàlla. waaye góoma ko.
non Gambia sax duñ ko nangu.
waaye Jawara nit ñee ko defoon Jawara. ñoo ko votal. ñoo ko saaf. ñoo doon doxal ñoo ko doon nekkal ci adduna bi. fu nekkal. so moom xam na nit ñi. waaye yow man su ma buggee lekk damaa ñëw ma fecca ma wax lu la ne nga jox ma benn kul.
waaw.
su ma buggee naan di same thing su ma buggee keneen damaa ñëw du kan lañ jurul ñëpp lañ jur so da nga réalise loolu aray juuɗe hootay juuɗe xam nga luy loolu doomu adama dafa ñëw ci loxo ci loxo laa ñibbi bi nga ñëw amuloo dara loxo moo la amee
te sooy dem
boo fi dee doo yóbbu la booben dañ la bàyyi da ngaa rotin say di lekka dañ la yóbbu suul la ara e juuɗe hoota e juuɗe.
Wow. MC Cham, one of the most prominent politicians si dëkk bi gis nañ sa toomaay all over waaye sa toomaay am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi si politique léegi de gis naa leen suma xarit bi MC Cham Junior ñoom Mama Kandeh ñoom Lamin Sa ñëpp a ngi si politique léegi how does that feel nga am foo tur sa tur every day di nga
dégg 100 namesakes.
Yeah.
Well over that. Well, one, I think because we were the founders, and two, we started from opposition. We were dealing with the disgruntled, the downtrodden, and the successful. Whereas if you start at the top, you relate at the top. You will not want to make like this. Why, if you start from the top, you go. That's that.
That's that. I'm not coming here. What laajal ma MC, what was his relationship with the late Mamadou Musa Njie, businessman, late Mamadou Musa Njie?
Well, he partly brought me up here.
Oh.
We come from the same stock. We don't know when our families started to relate. Ku baax la woon.
Ndeysaan.
He was member of the old order. Amoon na respect bu baax a baax si magam yi ak mbokkam yi. Amoon na itam yërmande.
Yes.
bari ci doomu aadama. Man, as I say, he partly brought me up.
Okay.
And I had a good experience being with him. Negi awom Soma. Kale bi ma àndal Soma la tudd. Kale bi jigéen bi ma àndal. She is almost 47, 48 years. Si awom bi la ko man néegam laa doon denc suma wólis bu ndaw ak suma school voilà doon solo. Ma dem school. So he was a very good man. 22 years bi mu dee. Man maa amee estate am.
Wow.
Because doomam yu mag yi jeexal lu ñu woon jànga ñu ngi woon abroad ñu ñëw ñu bàyyi ma ci. Bi mu dee he was the richest man in this country. Man maa réglé mira dégg nga ku miraas foofu.
Déedéet.
Mama dégg they had infinite trust on me because they found.
Wow.
And jéem naa lu ma ci def yàlla na ma yàlla baal waaye góoma def naa ko willing fàttali ko ma.
Wow.
Accusing me of anything.
Wow.
He left millions. Preside over loolu 22 years. Bàyyi na about 3 score children or 2 score plus.
Wow. Mashallah.
Most of them are well educated, male and female.
Yeah.
Mos nga dégg benn lifin.
No.
Ma hand over ci ñoom ak jàmm ma nekk ak ñoom ci jàmm yàlla laa santa. Du mun du xam-xam.
Yeah.
Waaw xëy na suma bringing up I was brought up by two sides, my parents and Modou Moussa. Suma pa suma Modou Moussa. Bi ma live in a common entrance. The rest is with Modou Moussa. Bi ma by school. I had my other exposures and I had my own business, both home and abroad. That's a world of a story.
Yeah. Wow, mashallah. Finally, lan mooy sa message. Your daughter is the president of this Gambia Bar Association. Your daughter is the president of the Gambia Bar Association. Nene, she is the president.
Nene is my 5th or 6th child, I think.
Mashallah.
Waaye mooy suma first doom bu am scholarship primary 6.
Wow.
And ma fail ko boobu time engage na external business. I was a minister, but dama gaaw a def friends. Tourist yi daan ñëw ak tukki yi ma daan dem conference yooyu dama gaaw a def friends. So out of those am na 4 or 5 yoo xam ne ba tey maa ngi relate ak ñoom. maa ngi indi fi la benn letter about one of my friends, a former British minister. Read ko.
British High Commissioner, British Embassy, Dear Excellency, it is with deep sadness that I learned over the World Service the ultimate death of Mr. Dennis Hall, former Labour Minister of State of Environment Sports. May I therefore take this opportunity to express my heartfelt condolences and sincere sympathy to you, your government, and through you to the family of the late Mr. Dennis Hall for this sad event. I first met Mr. Dennis Hall in 1974 during an official visit to the UK by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. At this time, Dennis, as he asked me to be calling him, and I shared a common portfolio of sports in our respective countries. He, together with my sponsors, lined up a very likely program for me during my 3 weeks stay in your great country. He introduced me to the late Sir Stanley Ross, former president of FIFA, and Ted Crooker, secretary of the FA, and took me to watch several league matches. I met Dennis during the subsequent visits to London when he always been very kind. He certainly was a very nice person, easy to get along with. I am sure he will not only be missed by his family and colleagues, but also many friends he had made during his private and public life. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Yours respectfully, Alhaji MC Cham. This was in 1998, 21st of April.
Yeah.
Wow.
Key, Tony Greenwood, I had about 5 or 6 ministers who I have visited their homes. Why key? Suma deful dara daf maa yóbbu.
Ndeysaan.
Wow, mom of all of them. Tony Greenwood was excellent. Mom nekk naa kiram ay days. Why key moom of all of them?
Yeah.
Key moom a gënoon a live.
Yeah.
Xam nga, it doesn't cost me much.
Yeah.
Jéem naa ko wax pour mu ñëw waaye unfortunately
Mënu ko woon a miss.
musta ñëw mu ne dina ñëw waaye ñëw. Am na few friends yu ma am ñëw. I did what I could
Yeah.
for them. Dinaa make sure ne di nga lekk cere.
Cere.
Domada. Super.
Wow.
But they like super very much.
They like super?
Yes.
Even during that time? Wow.
Ay ñu ne lu ma lekk baax na ci man baax na ci yow.
And am na
Amuñ complexe.
amuñ complexe.
Xam nga complexe.
Wow.
Ki ko sofa moo ko indi. Man su ma ñëwee ci yow ma complexe. Chances are yow itam su fekkee ne jaay naa la inferiority.
Yeah.
You may go super. You may go inferior, inferiority.
Yeah.
So when jéem nga am man tam dañoo duñ get along well.
Didn't get along.
Waaye man su ma ñëwee man damaa ñëw ci suuf.
Yeah.
Waaw ma embrace la for what you are. Obviously you reciprocate.
Definitely.
Te duma noba dara ci man.
Yeah.
So ma defee lu ma naa dama la.
Yeah.
Ñii dama billahi dama daan nekk ak ñoom ba 4 AM.
4 a.m.
Yéen dañ maa yóbbu fu nekk. Because nit la fa everywhere ñëpp benn la.
Benn lañ.
Even Sir Stanley Rouse, who would have been about 20 years or 25 years about my age. Ma gëna ma loolu moo nekkoon FIFA president for over 30 years.
30 years.
You know, et la doon doxee. Waaye damaa dem kiram amul jabar. Damaa dem kiram am na everything nag servants. If lu mu soxla rek. Was a wealthy man. Waaye daf daan feel very happy.
Yeah.
Mu ne ma dafa ñëw Gambia ma ne ko doo ñëw passé na.
A lot of people said, you know, you look very young and what is this? You look very young. What is the secret? You know.
Well, I was a sportsman.
Uh-huh.
One. And I had other exposures, some of which I wish remain unknown.
Okay.
Loolu suma exposure ci suma dunda.
Yeah.
Bari na trop.
Bari na
trop.
Wow. Finally, lan mooy sa independent message to the Gambians that are watching you today? 60 years of nationhood. Lan nga bugg a bàyyee Gambian yi nga xam ne ñu ngi laa seetaan?
Man li ma leen a njëkk a wax mooy ñu wàccee seen boppa. Yàlla mooy éegal. Làmmiñ du éegal. Làmmiñ dafa fekk jëf yàlla moo ko amee moo ko joxe yàlla nañu defal jëf bu baax.
Amen.
Why fabrication for wealth, opportunity, or the forms of chances? Balanga dee ka ko ñàkka. Your politics dafa short-lived. Te ñun dañ choose the short-lived one. Because there's absolute power. Moom lañ jël. Absolute power yàlla rek la. You cannot quantify the quantity or the quality or the amount bu ñu jox. Soo defee 3,000 million miles. Baaxul. Yooyu nag soo ko amee comme ka bakkan nga ñàkka na nga xam ne di nga ñàkka place.
Yeah.
Soo ko ñàkkee you'll come back to where you were. Yàlla wana ko ci Alxuraan. Soo lebee bor feyal. maa leen defar ci suuf poto foofu gën a dellu balaa ngeen ñëw ci man bam waxee malaaka yi pay leen respect julli pay respect la.
Yeah.
Pay respect to this. Iblis ne ko man dinaa pay respect ci suuf. lu ñuul li lay dégg ci suuf.
Yeah.
du ma ko def man lii dafa tilim. man defaruloo ma ci tilim. mu ne ko mu ne ko xalaat naa la.
Yeah.
musiba bu ma nar a inflict yaa cee uppale. loolu rëy na de.
That's big.
mu ne ko bon nag yow yaa wax ne lu nit liggéey nga fay ko su nit liggéeyee na nga ko fay mu ne ko waaw. mu ne ko loo bëgg mu ne même opportunity ci xoli nit ñi.
Yeah.
ma am direct access ci seen xol. mu ne ko jëla mu ne ko dinaa ñëpp xalaat nga ma di nga xalaat ñëpp bi ko dinaa yaxee mu ne yow yaa sa xalaat ak li la dal yëpp moo la jiitu man maa ko créer maa ko manipuler.
Yeah.
Allahu akbar.
Yeah.
nit na nga jànga mooy nga read nga dégg wax waaye Sayku Umar mu ne bi gën a am doole suma maam la ci suma wàlli yaayam mu ne ci sa rong tànk la nekk mu ne kenn du am xam-xam ak alal fi nga toog gis nga aduna waxtaan la soo ko déggee ak xel nga jéem cee toppa tuuti yàlla may la jàmm dégguloo ko yu job bi comme ak ñoom kan moo bëgg ak ñoom Ousseynou Dabo ak ñoom yal na ko yàlla musal ci loolu Ousseynou Dabo rek waaw ci jamonoom mu jiitu ñu toppa ci li ko yàlla may maa ngi ko ñaanal loolu yal na ko yàlla def du ma waxati nag
doo waxati.
You can talk, but I will not answer. I close my mouth.
Lani?
Kan?
Kii.
No, Ousseynou Ndiaye.
Ousseynou Ndiaye. Wow.
Omar Sy, myself.
Oh.
After Julie.
After Julie, okay.
Bi, man kii if you're in minister la de fàtte naa kan la.
Okay.
Gisuma ko ci gannaaw.
waaye bii moom sa famille la Abdou Diouf la.
Abdou Diouf la waaw. bi visité fii after the coup.
Sada, okay, after the coup, after, oh, okay. Attempted coup bi. 81.
waaw.
Oh, okay. This one.
man maa OJ la.
OJ, waaw, ndeysaan. Ah, wow. And this one bi.
man maa OJ.
yaa OJ ak.
waaw Assane Diallo.
Oh, Assane. Chief Justice bi nii.
waaw.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I was ahead of them many years.
Okay. Okay. Wow, this is nice. So, okay, yeah, Oji Akasandial, Chief Justice. Okay. Wow, this one, everyone is in tie. Bi ban la ni.
Bi man la. Bi Dembo Diatta.
Dembo hanga suma maam la. Dembo Diatta.
Saho.
Lamin Saho. Ki moy won Justice Minister.
No.
Oh.
Sa ki Germany la jàngee.
Germany la jàngee, okay.
Mu ngi seyoon Rakki Buuba Baldé.
Oh, okay.
He was the Minister of Economic Planning at one time.
Okay. What's this?
Kii. Kii Nene la. No, waaw Nene la ak yaayam.
Ah, Nene, okay.
Kii Assane Moussa Camara ak moom.
Ah, Assane Moussa Camara, okay. Wow.
This one is man maa suma doom. Kii Mansour la.
Ah.
Kii Ami. Kii ma àndal Soma.
Wow. Yeah.
moo toppa ci kii.
Moo toppa ci kii, okay.
Kii Harvard graduate la.
Oh, okay.
Kii fayaluma ko school fees. Exceptionally intelligent.
Wow.
Fayaluma ko.
Ndeysaan.
Scholarship.
Wow. Ami. Wow.
mu ngi.
Kii Omar Sy la kii, right?
waaw Omar Sy waaw.
Okay.
Kii Ousseynou.
Ousseynou Ndiaye.
ñun ñett la.
Okay.
dañoo change position gisoon nga.
waaw gisoon naa bile. bii tam di same la yow yaa OJ ak Assane Diallo.
dama ko may benn bi jabaram.
Yeah, bii tam di same la, okay. And this looks like.
bii man ci suma bopp fàtte naa fan la.
Okay.
Conference
di same bi waaw. yaa ngi wax siga am na siga bu ma fi gis de siga baa ngi nii de gis naa siga bi fii de
This family la.
Oh, family la, okay. Wow. Fii fan la nii, this picture looks different.
B is the oldest.
Okay, B.
B boobu maa ngi just nekk minister. Kii nii si Modou Moussa la, kii mooy borom dëkk bi. Kii suma mbokk la.
Okay.
Bisandugu la ñoo koy dëkk bi.
Bisandugu.
Waaw.
Fan la nekk Tumanna. Okay.
Dëkki Pol la.
Pol la, okay.
100%.
Wow. Okay.
Kenn rek moo nekkoon suma opposition.
Wow.
waaye gannaaw gi ñu xam ne dama ko use as a spy. mu blow affaire bi blow up. Well, one of my spies.
Okay.
Waaw.
So after dafa blow out ñu xam ne spy la woon.
Well dafa xam nga loo xam ne man maa yow la.
Waaw.
Nekkaatu secret waaye nañ moytu de.
Okay.
su ko keneen déggee rek.
Okay. What about this one? Bii fan la woon?
Bii. Lii abroad la de.
Okay.
xam nga ban dëkk la de. because maa ngi nii.
Bii abroad la woon.
Sama. Non lii America la.
Okay.
ma demoon ci graduation yi suma benn doom.
Okay. Bii moom dafa mel ni julli la woon.
Julli waaw.
Yeah, and this one.
Bii maa doon tukki ma ñëw ci foofu defi.
Okay.
Wala laa doon di defi.
Okay. What about this one?
Bii suma goro yi la.
Okay.
Family living la.
This.
moo tax jab doom yi about 4 takka nañ tubaab.
Okay.
Bii Makka la. bi ma àndee Saa Dawda.
Saa Dawda. Okay.
ak Omar Sy. amoon na Gambian si fa
nekkoon. Wow. Nice collection. Nice collections. Wow. Thank you so much. This looks like this one of your Sadom. Jarbaat la.
Okay. Right now.
Okay.
I'm going to next.
Thank you very much. Kontaan naa trop. Waxtaan bi neex na yaatu na. te am naa yaakaar ne Gambien yi dinañ jàng si waxtaan bi di la ñaanal yal na la fi yàlla gën a yàggal dañu mën a am waxtaan yi lu bari and hopefully so many Gambians celebrating you for what you have done during your time in government but also legacy bi nga fi bàyyi ak also ba tey xadar bi ak li nga gëm ba tey you speak from that angle.
It's only my legs.
Yes.
My legs.
Definitely. But you look so well and thank you so much for granting us this interview. We appreciate. And thank you very much, Mr. Dabo, for coordinating this for us. Thank you so much. Jering Jeff. Thank you. Happy Independence to you all. Thank you.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997, and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital, while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been.